So about a week ago, Google announced Nano Banana Pro, and it seems to be a very powerful model that's powered by Gemini 3, and it seems to have quite rich information representation, and the quality of the images generated seems to be mind-blowing. So in this video, let's play around with Nano Banana Pro model. Particularly, I'm going to be using the Higgsfield AI platform. The reason for that choice is that currently the price for generating images and videos on Higgsfield is much cheaper than its competitors. For example, if you look at the Kling 2.5 model for 10-second video generation, the price is just 39 cents compared to the competitors, which are priced very high. So let me open Higgsfield AI and go to Nano Banana Pro. These are some of the images that I generated, and in this video I'm going to walk you through how I went about generating these. So let's get started. So this is the landing page if you want to play with Nano Banana Pro today. If you do not know what prompt that you want to choose, then you can click on random prompt, and we can see that it has come up with this prompt: a photorealistic shoot of 3 perfectly stacked, unevenly sized, glossy dominoes on a polished wooden floor. The top domino must be leaning so far that it's seconds from falling. So let's see how it performs for this. I'm going to click on generate. You can see this image because this is the image that I just generated with a previous prompt that when I was just playing around with it. When we hit generate on that page, we end up here, and we have the option to change the aspect ratio. If I choose 4:3, and we can also choose the quality, which is 1K, 2K, and 4K. I'm probably going to choose 2K. And there's also this draw option where we can literally draw to edit. I'm not going to explore that, and I'm just going to click on generate. There you go. We have the resulting image and it looks perfectly fine. We could see 3 dominoes placed on a shiny wooden floor, exactly what we wanted, and the top one is toppling a second before it falls. So I would accept that as something that's going to be seconds before it falls. And the couple of other options is that of video and speak. So for our next example, let's explore this functionality, which is here at the bottom, which says upload up to 14 multiple images. So we will be able to upload images and then write some prompt here, and we can manipulate the image. So the example I'm going to use is that of this image, which is a scene from a famous movie, Catch Me If You Can. So I'm just going to upload that, and I'm just going to give a simple prompt, which is show me the backstage of this shot, and click on generate. So it's in the queue. Let's wait and see what the output looks like. And we have the result, and this is the image that we have got with the scene in the middle and the cameraman all around them. And this is just mind-blowing actually for me. There's even an option to give further instructions. For example, I can say I want this to be a night shot rather than a day shot. And I can click on generate again and find out what the change is. And this is the result we got. It straight away looks like a night shot, and we have all these lights in order to light the scene, and it has done the job straight away. So from cinema, let's move on to gaming. I've got the CS2 or Counter-Strike 2 formation I downloaded. I'm going to give this as one of the inputs, and I'm going to prompt in such a way that we have characters in place of these, and see how well we could edit this image. So I'm just going to upload that, and I'm going to say create a lineup of 5 characters standing in CS2 style formation, each dressed in modern tactical special forces gear, holding realistic weapons in the exact pose seen in the reference. Keep the same bright daylight setting with matching architecture, shadows, and overall composition. Preserve the game style colored icons just to make sure these icons are preserved above each character while using generic names. Maintain the CS2 aesthetic, tactical stances, detailed gear, and dynamic lighting. Render ultra realistic sharp textures and crisp colors. And I'm going to say that replace the characters with the faces of famous tennis players, and I'm going to hit generate. Let's see what it comes up with, and look at what it has come up with. It has come up with Roger Federer's face, it has come up with Nadal's face, Serena Williams, and Andy Murray. It has missed out replacing the face of this character, but it's done a pretty good job. So let's move on to another example. I'm going to do something to do with the branding of the YouTube channel now. So I'm going to upload the logo of AI Bytes, and I'm going to ask it to create a brand book for my brand, AI Bytes. The mission is to explain AI concepts concisely and clearly. And let's hit on generate, see what it comes up with for the branding of AI Bytes. And it has come up with this brand book. One of the first impressive things is that the font is quite clear and it doesn't have any mistakes. For example, the header clearly says to explain AI concepts concisely and clearly. There's no single typo there in that text. And one of the next things I notice is that it has precisely come up with the brand colors, which are purple, red, green, and blue. It hasn't done any mistake in terms of the colors, and it looks pretty neat actually for the first version of a brand book. So I quite like this one. And while we are at it, I'm now going to change my prompt and ask it to create samples of swag for my brand. So I am creating swag for my brand. The brand logo is attached. Create hoodies in 3 different colors. Create 2 caps in black and white. Each swag must be worn by a model. So this is slightly more demanding, and let's find out what it comes up with. I started generating, and let's wait and see how the result looks. Wow, look at that. This is the first time, in fact, I'm seeing my brand being on a hoodie. So we can see that it has come up with 2 caps, black and white, owned by models. And in the cap, we can see that the logo is there. So that's pretty good. And there are hoodies owned by these models, and the logo is placed in different places. For example, it's here at the front, it's here at the back, and over here it's again at the back. So I really like this image. In fact, I can't wait to create some hoodies for my brand now. So that's pretty good. From here, let's move on to something more chill. I've got this 8 characters downloaded from the internet. They're all Peppa characters, and I'm going to create something similar to a family picture. So let's see how well Nano Banana Pro does with this. Because it has the ability to take 14 input images, I'm going to give all the 8 images together. And I've chosen all the 8 images. They're all in there. And I'm going to write the prompt to create the image. So I'm going to say a medium shot of 8 Peppa characters sitting squeezed together on a couch on the floor. They are facing forward, watching a vintage television set placed on a wooden table. The room is dimly lit with warm lights. The glow from the television illuminates the faces of the characters. The background is cozy, slightly cluttered living room. The overall atmosphere is warm and amused. And I'm just going to click on generate for this. And we have the result. Aesthetics of the image is pretty good. I quite like the lighting. And in fact, if we look at the background, look at the lighting, how sharp the difference from the shadow to the brightness is. Quite realistic in my opinion. And in terms of the consistency of the characters, Google says that the Nano Banana Pro has the ability to maintain consistency of up to 5 characters. So if we look at that, so we can see that there's consistency of quite a few characters here. So it's pretty good that it has maintained the consistency of quite a few characters here. In fact, more than 5 characters. Overall, it's quite a nice image, quite a pleasing one, and I quite like the result of this. To wrap things up, we saw about Nano Banana Pro on the Higgsfield AI platform, and we saw about some prompts which can be quite useful for generating images. And we also saw some real-world examples like how we can create a brand book for any logo or any brand. And we also saw some hypothetical images. When it comes to a model like this, it's only your imagination that's limiting. I hope you found that useful, and I will see you in my next video. Until then, take care.